So I'm going to pick up on one last aspect of group behaviour that Professor Gerdes didn't cover, and that is the topic of group cohesion. So we think about group cohesiveness as the degree to which the group members, so all the members of the group, are like each other, so or have some kind of respect or some kind of, we call this attraction to one another. So they have something that is cohesing them together, bringing them together, and share the overall group goals. And so there's a few factors that contribute to the cohesiveness of a group. First of all, is an individual's actual desire to stay within that group. So you can imagine that if everyone in the group wants to stay in the group is going to stay fairly cohesive. The more people who are not interested, so they're finding that they're not quite aligned to the group, the less the group is likely to be cohesive and stick together. And we also want to have good alignment between each individual's goals and the overall goals of that group. So this can be the individual's career goals or their goals for their role. Is that aligned with the group's goals overall? And so then we have this relationship as well between the goals of the group and the larger goals of the organisation. So I'll illustrate this through a little example. So say, for example, you're in the A&R department of a major label. And so that team that you're in have very strong aligned goals. You all have a very strong sense of cohesion. You all feel like that team is going in the same direction, and that each of your individual goals are well aligned to the goals of your group, which might be that you're particularly interested in breaking a particular genre of music, say. Now, the degree to which the goals of your group align with the goals of the organisation, then the productivity of your team is going to be affected. So what this is saying, so if we look at the cohesiveness, and in this case, we're saying that your team has a high cohesiveness. If your team's goals are aligned to the organisation's goals, so you feel that the organisation is interested in the same thing that your group's interested in, you're all heading in the same direction, then there's going to be a strong relationship with the productivity of your group, because people are going to feel like, yeah, we're all going in the right direction, let's just keep going. If on the other hand, your group cohesion is still high, so as a team you're really strong, but you feel that the organisation is going in a different direction to you, or you feel like your team's goals are misaligned to the organisation's goals. You just don't feel like the way the organisation is going and is being run is well aligned to what your team is trying to produce. We're going to have a decrease in productivity, because you're going to feel like people are not going to be as motivated, and they're going to feel like they're kind of working against the tide. On the flip side, if you have a group that is low in cohesiveness, so you've got a bunch of people who are working together who don't have a very strong sense of alignment, and maybe don't really like or enjoy or feel a sense of connection in working together, we're going to still have a bit of an increase in productivity if the alignment of the goals of the group are in alignment with the goals of the organisation. And if we're not aligned, if our group's goals aren't aligned to the organisation's goals, it's not necessarily going to have any significant effect on productivity. So we might find this with, I don't know, like an admin or a finance team who don't really have a very strong set of goals. Maybe the people in those teams don't have a strong set of goals that is bringing them together, and maybe they don't feel that strong sense of cohesion for whatever reason. So they're not necessarily going to be less productive. But if we have a team that has that strong alignment within the team and to the organisation, then we're going to get a really strong increase in productivity. So we want to be understanding this when we're thinking about our organisations and managing them. To what degree is the group cohesiveness going to be important? And to what degree do we need productivity to be enhanced by the cohesiveness of the group. And in particular, if we're trying to build a strongly cohesive group, we probably want to be really making sure that our group's goals are very strongly aligned to our organisation's goals. So in the next video, we're going to move away from groups and start talking about teams and the distinction between a team and a group, and in particular, what makes teams effective.